In crafting, there are no mistakes, just unique creations. Hi guys, my name is Sean Fadairo, aka Game Boy, reporting for Camera Boy. And today on Steppers, your number one unscripted show. We are live at Ecobata, where waste products are being turned into unique products. So, sit back, relax, get entertained, get educated, and most especially, get inspired. We'll be right back. Hello.
Hi.
Nice to meet you. Alright, so I like your makeup. You look very simple in it.
Thank you.
Okay, so can we meet you?
Okay, so my name is Rita Ide and I'm the founder of Ecobata. So for Rita is somewhat conservative, or mostly, yeah, I'm a community person. So like I like to be in the group of friends. I like to be helpful and stuff like that. Then we Ecobata. So Ecobata is a social enterprise. We work to reduce waste, to collect waste, and to recycle waste. From currently in Abuja. So I guess that's Rita.
Wow, nice stuff you got there. So I'm going to ask you a quick one right now. You said Ecobata. Why do you choose the name Ecobata?
Hi. So this name Ecobata, right? Again, I have a friend that I'm going to credit Ecobata to, because we came up with it together and it wasn't anything really deep. So when I started, I've always been weary because of Rita. So when I started, most of the businesses I did, in school and stuff were Riri collections. And when I started business proper after school, so it was just Riri integrated, I registered. But then again, we came into the environmental space, and we needed a name that when people hear the name, they think environment immediately. So we just started, it was right there in my sitting room. I started trading like ideas, echo this, echo like it was a really very funny day. So but now the moment I heard Ecobata, it just stuck, and this had to be, because Ecobata more or less communicates what we want to do, environments, and then Bata is like exchanging value.
So exchanging environmental products for value.
Yes.
Wow, nice one. So Ecobata, why do you choose this line of business? Like, I can categorically say that a lady of your type, they could go for flashy things like fashion, makeup, and the likes. But why Ecobata? Why waste?
So I'm going to, for the sake of just not dragging.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yes.
Not address lady of your type.
Okay.
Moving forward.
No, you look very flashy, that's fine.
No, okay, well, again, I'm just not going to address that.
Okay, all right.
But I think I studied geology in the university, so that's like the major thing. But before the university, I said, I'm not a very conservative person, but I would still call myself a conservative person.
Yes.
Because responsible consumption is something I grew up with, like in my house. So we've always recycled in my house some way, not in the formal space, but growing up, I knew that we had some guys that would come around and give us new buckets, plastic buckets, in exchange for some waste items.
Okay.
So even clothing, so we give out clothing, we don't throw stuff away in my house. So like I grew up with that mentality of just conserve things, because even though they do not have value to you, they probably have value to some other person, right? And then I went to the university and studied geology. And geology is like the study of earth, and not necessarily environment, but we did environmental geology.
Okay.
So that was how I started that.
Okay, so you said Ecobata, environmental and trading, exchanging of gifts. So I need you to tell people, like, remind them that you are not bringing them back to the primitive stage, because I remember trade by barter in those days is mainly when we don't have physical currency. So what can you say about that?
Okay, so the thing with Ecobata and exchanging value within the environmental spaces, everything that we actually use now, so from your clothes to your shoes to the chair we're sitting on, they're gotten from the environment. So and the truth is, again, because I studied geology, so one of the things we learned was the fact that the earth is a closed system. So with a closed system, materials are not coming in. Even crude oil, that we say that everything is limited in environment or in the space. We have limited number of trees, even though trees grow, but the rate at which they grow is slower, like way much slower compared to the rate at which we generate or we use them. So that's why it's important for us to be able to trade resources. So when you generate waste, for example, so in our household, about over half of the waste we generate in our households are actually still recyclable. You can turn them into new products. So your food waste, for example, can be turned into manure, fertilizers, and stuff like that. Plastic bags can turn into new things. You see what we're doing in plastic bags. So that's why the whole idea of trade by barter comes in. Like it's more or less trading value. So nobody is taking anybody back into the primitive age, but we need to still, grow or develop with the concept of sustainability in our mind. So we can't say because there's technology now we just want to consume and keep consuming. We would run out of materials, and what are we going to leave for the next generations?
Oh, cool. Well, you heard it. We are not going back to the primitive age.
Yes.
All right. So you mentioned earlier that you studied geology, and you also started this thing way back, like from your home. You guys don't throw anything as waste. So how long have you been doing this consciously?
Okay, so we launched, I'm going to say, we launched EcoBatter itself on the 3rd of February 2018. A year before then, we were operating like on a we're testing actually, not even operating, but under the name Brewery Integrated, like I said. So I'm going to say we started, all of this started in 2017. We launched the company in 2018, but then again, like I said, I've always been in the space of, recycling and keeping things, not throwing them away, trying to reuse stuff, like right from when I was a kid.
Okay. So, in this line of your job, what are your immediate challenges?
Okay, I think the first thing is the low level of awareness when you're talking to people. So again, I said recycling waste is like something we've been doing, but in the formal space, recycling is not like first nature to us in Nigeria, right? Because there's no policy, there's no law that says you have to recycle. A lot of people do not even understand the immediate implication of, indiscriminate waste disposal or not recycling. So low level of awareness is the first thing, because people do not know what you're doing. So again, they do not accept, like when we go to households to do like a campaign and say recycle, we spend a lot of time having to convince people to recycle. That's one. Then the second thing is actually the risk associated with like what we do. So because it's waste, definitely it's dirty. It's not the regular, blue collar job and stuff. So the health risk is one of the things. And again, waste being or recycling being a relatively modern recycling, formal recycling is relatively new in Nigeria. So again, there's limited, talent in the space, and because of the way we start, or most recycling collection companies start, so there's low access to funds again, and without funds, there's a lot of things you cannot do. You can't even employ the right people because you need to be able to pay your human resource. You need to be able to spend money on infrastructures because we don't have infrastructures on ground for recycling. So those are like the immediate challenges.
Oh wow! But from what you said, I picked one thing: hygiene. And from the virus flying around these days. So how do you people tackle cleanliness? How do you tackle it?
Okay, so the first thing what we do is, I said the waste we generate, about 50% of it are actually recyclable. So that means that, let me divert a little bit and bring a lot of statistics into this.
Okay.
Each person generates 0.5 kilogram of waste on the average, right? So when you generate, in Abuja alone, we generate about 1,500 tons monthly. But less than 50% of households do not have access to formal recycling collection or formal waste management collection. So that means that about 50% of the people either throw their waste, on the street, or give it to some bowler guys that throw it on the water, and that's how the whole pollution starts in the environment. So when you keep the waste in a certain place, leachate, so those are like the very dirty, smelly water, right? They go into your water bodies, they pollute water, they pollute air, and people get diseases. And again, when you have dorms and stuff like that, when flies go to this place, they come to your house, bite you, and that's how diseases are transmitted. Same thing, so that's like the entire process. So what we do with the work that we do, if you are reducing 50% of the waste that is going out, you are literally reducing 50% of the potential pollution. Do you understand? So that's like directly how our work relates with cleanliness. We reduce the volume of waste that needs to be managed. We reduce the volume of waste that needs to get to the environment, and so our limited infrastructure in Nigeria is able to now cater to, the remaining half.
Oh,
so yes.
Nice. Okay, you've been mentioning waste all along. So what kind of waste precisely? Do you have a category or something?
So again, waste is basically unwanted items, right?
Yes.
And there are different types. But we work with household waste, household waste. We call them solid municipal waste. So plastic bottles, paper, cartons, paper boards, then beverage cans, and some household household metals, right? We also now work with plastic bag, which is like a very fascinating thing that we're doing. So we work with plastic bags and pure water sachet that you see everywhere. Cool. So those are like the items that we collect. We don't do furnitures, we don't do tires, we don't do stuff like that.
Okay, yes. Okay, all right. So just before we go, what do you have to tell the public on their usage of waste?
Okay, so the thing is that, and I keep saying it, the earth resources are not infinite, right? They are limited. So when you literally take something from the environment, it is best we use it in a way that it goes back to the environment. So when we generate waste and we do not control the waste that we generate, we limit the resources that the environment has for us, the useful resources, because this waste will just stay in the environment. When you even dispose, they don't go away. Plastic, for example, takes over 400 years before it biodegrades. Glass will never biodegrade. So when we use these things and keep them as waste, we're mostly just stocking like valuables in a way that we can use them. Okay. So yes, it is important that you first reduce the volume of waste that you generate, and when you eventually generate, get it to a recycling collection company. Let them turn it back into valuable material for for the people, for the planet, and most importantly for the economy.
Wow. So is there any way that they can contact you directly if they want to trade waste and stuff?
Okay, so first is on social media. So our handles are at EcoBatter, ECOBARTER, and then you can WhatsApp us on our lines. I think the one I have offhand is 090-8485-5604. So WhatsApp only, please, and maybe text messages.
All right. Yes. Okay. So any word you want to tell?
It's important to recycle. Again, I think I said it already, for the people, for the planet, and for prosperity, because recycling creates like 6 times more jobs than regular trashing. So please, let's get recycling.
You see it as waste, we see it as currency. Whenever you have a waste, just take it down to any recycling center or upcycling center and you get your value for it. Alright, so this is where we call it a wrap on today's show. And don't forget to follow us on our social media handles, cameraboy.tv Hausa on Instagram and cameraboy TV on YouTube. Stay cool.